What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Back to Life podcast with Nikotjr. I am Nico, your host, and today I want to talk about jealousy. I want to talk about envy. I want to talk about not being content with yourself. I want to talk about those things when you're watching someone else's video, when you're looking at someone else's pictures on social media, when you sit there and see someone drive by in a nice car, why you feel those feelings of jealousy and envy. To this day, I will never understand the true feeling of what that feels like. Never understood how people feel some type of way when it comes to somebody else's monies, cars, houses, clothes, etc. But what I do understand is that means you got something going on inside you. And we're going to work through that. So if you're listening to this podcast and you feel those type of feelings towards people, if you see people doing things that are so awesome and you always feel some type of way because your life is this and your life is that and you're always complaining, that's probably one of the reasons why your life is what it is. And this may make you uncomfortable. This may make you feel like, why is he talking down on me? Why is he talking to me like this while I'm listening to his podcast? I'm not talking down on you. I'm trying to help you through a moment of your life that if you can get through, you will see your life flourish. You will see your life turn out in an abundant way where now no longer are you worried about what people have. You're enjoying what you have. When you become content in the things that you have and you stop worrying about what everybody around you has, all of a sudden, more awesome things keep piling up into your life. So, for instance, I've been an influencer for a while now, probably officially I'd say probably like 3 years, give or take. Been posting on social media since I can't even remember. It's unreal how long all that's been going on, and it's been awesome. It's been so cool to do what I do, and it feels great because you're like, look, this is one of the coolest things, but what comes with one of those coolest things is all of the hate, the comments, the people that are just, what do they call them? Twitter warriors or keyboard warriors, right? Everybody's coming at you. Everybody's mad about something. Everybody's upset that you got this and you got that and you get to travel and you're doing all these cool things while they're sitting at home. How do we get through that? It takes a while. Okay, I've actually tried to help people get into social media at times, and people that I'm not going to name or anything like that, but you understand quickly that it's like, yo, you got to have thick skin. You gotta have this pair on you where you just don't care. Where it's like a callus. When you go to the gym and you work out and then your hands, they start to hurt a little bit right here. They start hurting, right? And then all of a sudden, the next time you come in, you're like, oh, this doesn't feel as bad. A week later, you don't even think about it. A month later, it's never a thought. It's never an afterthought. You might even pick at your hands sometimes and forget that you even work out. That's the way you have to become in this world on one side of the spectrum. And on the other side of the spectrum, if you're the person that's always hating, if you're looking at somebody, always cutting your eyes, you don't understand why they got this and why they got that, we got to examine your heart, and we need to peel off whatever's going on in there so that you can start feeling free. Because if you're constantly looking at other people in their life, worried about what they have, worried about what kind of car they drive, counting their bank account, not worried about your money, you're worried about what everybody else around you has, how are you ever going to be at peace with your life? How are you ever going to understand that what you have in your moment is truly a blessing? If you are not content with the blessing that is right in front of you, God's not going to provide you something that ain't for you. He's not going to provide you something that you're also not going to be content with. Well, if only I had a little bit more money, you're not happy with the money you got. Well, if I had a cooler car, you're not happy with the car you got. If I had a nicer house, you don't even clean your house. How do you expect blessings to pour into your life if you are not cool with taking care of the blessings that are in front of you right now? I mean, truly think about that. How could you get a bigger house if you can't take care of the smaller house? How could you get a cooler car if you can't even vacuum out your car? You can't even change the oil. You can't even, whatever it is. You can't even take care of what you have in the moment, but you want something else. You're expecting something to work out for you so bad that you forget that the things in the moment that you have right now need taken care of. It's like, oh, I have a kid right now, but I need to start taking care of the one that I'm going to have. No. Worry about what you got in the moment. You're not going to neglect the child that's right in front of you, are you? No, you won't. Why? Oh, it's a human, da-da-da-da-da. No. Take care of what's in front of you so that when something comes in the future, you know how to take care of it. It's a stepping stone. It gets you to that next level. You don't just all of a sudden have a ton of money and know how to deal with money. No, you got to learn from small amounts. You got to know how to count quarters before you can count hundreds. You got to learn how to be able to add and subtract before you can start a business. You got to learn how to be able to clean a small bathroom before you want to start cleaning a bathroom that's as big as your room that you live in right now. Like, there's so many things that people overlook, and then they become just jealous people. They harden their heart, and their heart just becomes so dark. And you start looking at other people as if they did something to you. But at the end of the day, those people ain't got nothing to do with you. Those people, all their blessings and everything they've worked for, everything they've earned has nothing to do with what's going on in your life. This is one of those moments where you say, look, if I'm dealing with being a jealous person, if I deal with being an envious person, how do I stop feeling that way towards other people? One of them is working extremely hard, and the second one is becoming content with what you have in your life. Stop counting other people's blessings if you can't be grateful for your own. That is one of those things where you have to be okay being okay where your 2 feet are. Because if you're constantly worried about where your feet are going to go, you'll never catch up. You are never going to catch up with your own 2 feet if you're always worried about where you need to go. And most of the time, it's not where you need to go. It's what you want to be doing. You don't need that new car. You don't need that new house. You don't need that new boat. You don't need all these different things. You want those things, which is fair. That's cool. If you can afford it, if you've been working hard, if you're like, yo, I'm really going to go earn this. I'm going to put everything into it. Why not, right? We only live once. Help people along the way. Show people how to do it as well. But at the end of the day, you got to be content with that, because what if you get all those new things and now you're like, dang it, not big enough, not cool enough, not new enough. And then you get to that next level, not cool enough, not big enough, not clean enough. Well, all of a sudden, it's not a thing problem. It's a you problem. This is you needing to examine yourself in the moment. This is you needing to understand that maybe the things aren't the problem. Maybe I am. But are we ever going to stop and examine ourselves like that? Are we ever going to stop and say, maybe I am the problem? Maybe I am the issue in this equation. Okay? Maybe I need to solve for X and I am the X. Okay? And sometimes it's okay to do that, because we have to self-reflect, because we got to realize and we got to dig deep. I always hear pastors talking about like the enemy, the enemy, the enemy. What does it sound like? And all of a sudden, if you keep saying enemy, 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 it sounds like inner me. The inner me. So sometimes the enemy is the inner me. Sometimes it is your own thoughts. Sometimes it is how you were raised. Sometimes it is your environment. Sometimes it is what you developed into. And you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like that's for real, for real. Sometimes you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because the enemy is the inner me sometimes. I talk down on myself. I talk down on people. I do this, I do this, I do this. How do I get out of that type of lifestyle? How do I get out of that type of moment where I'm constantly being negative so that I can actually be grateful and thankful in the moments that I'm in? I encourage you to do something. And I do this basically every day, every chance I get. I go down to the park and I take about 20 to 30 minutes out of my day, and I call it a thankful walk. I thank God for absolutely everything in my life. When I say everything, I'm talking about like the birds, the bees, the trees, the wind, the sidewalk I walk on, everything I have in my life, every opportunity, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, the things that are to come. I don't ask for a thing. I'm just thankful. The moment I started being more thankful for absolutely everything that I had in my life, I saw nothing but blessings pouring down on me. Don't get me wrong. This doesn't just start happening. I'm still working for things in the meantime. I'm earning things, right? I'm grinding. I'm sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night sometimes. And I'm not encouraging you to lose sleep. That's just me. That's how I operate. You work as hard as you possibly can. You be content for what you have. Be so thankful that when people see you, they're like, why is he so happy? Like, Why is he so happy in his life? Because everything that he has, he's grateful for. Everything that's in his moment, he's thankful for. And if you're constantly not, people are like, man, he's always unhappy. He's never content. He's always chasing something. Be the person that when someone looks over and says, dude, why are you so happy? How are you so happy? Why are you so happy on a daily basis? You go, I got everything I'd ever want. I got everything I'd ever need. That's contentment. Stop being a jealous person. Stop envying everyone around you. Stop talking about people around you. Stop all the gossip. If you hear somebody talking about somebody, just walk away. Be like, bro, I can't do this today. This ain't for me. Find new friends. And if it's your family, just tell them, unfortunately, I can't hang around you. All you do is talk negativity. And I can't have that in my life. Like, just because you're related to somebody don't mean you got to go down a negative pathway with them too. Let them head on down the road. Try to get them out of it. And if they don't want to, you can only do so much. But I just want to encourage you. Stop being jealous people. Stop envying everyone. Be content with what you have. Be okay with your moment. Be okay with where your 2 feet are. And stop looking so far ahead that you forget that you are where you are. That moment is what you prayed for one day. That moment is what you worked for one day. The moment you are in right now is what you used to pray for. The moment that you're in right now is what you used to work so hard for. So be okay with that moment. I just wanted to touch on jealousy and envy and especially today's world with social media. Everybody's always got something to say. If you're on the other side of that and you constantly see people hating on you and doing all these things because you do work hard and you did earn a lot of cool stuff, man, don't worry about them. Hopefully one day they get out of that mindset. Keep living your best life. Keep working hard. Keep dreaming big. Dream even bigger. And enjoy life. Don't let that get to you. Because at the end of the day, anybody that's successful, you'll never hear them say something about you. It's the people that want to play successful. It's the people that want to play like they're cool. You'll never hear another successful person talking about another successful person in a negative way. Always remember that. That's just something, let that really marinate. You'll never hear another successful person talking about another successful person in a negative way. It's very rare if you ever do hear it. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. Really wanted to touch on that subject right there because I think that is something our society struggles with on a daily basis, especially with all this instant gratification with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, especially with TikTok. There's just so much people wish they had. They wish they had this life. They wish they were like these people. Just be okay being yourself. Be okay in the moment that you're in. Be okay with what you have and work for the next step. I'll see you on the next one.